The Silent Hill 2 remake has me excited, and maybe a whole bunch of you are wondering, why is this guy excited for a Silent Hill 2 remake? Well, I'm gonna explain myself later on in this video, because first of all, I believe it is important to say that a lot of people have a negative reaction towards the trailers that Silent Hill 2 released just a few days ago, and we are here to discuss it. As a big Silent Hill 2 fan, I feel very weird about this situation as a whole, because there are things that I really do feel like they could have done a bit better, and I'll explain shortly in this video. If I have to give a rating in regards to the Silent Hill 2 trailers, I'll give it a 8 out of 10.
You what?
It might be a bit too high, but hear me out. In terms of the atmosphere and environment, I believe Bloober team got it to a T. So in that department, I believe they did a great job. However, it goes without saying that there are a lot of things that is very questioning. For example, this message that was brought into the live stream of the Silent Hill transmission. Alright, I'm not sure about faithfully remastering or remaking Silent Hill 2 is correct, because if you guys seen the trailer, there is a major difference, and that is the first encounter. They have changed the first encounter, which completely disregards this message, but it's not really a bad thing. But to give out the message right before this trailer and change the first encounter, it's kind of weird. Now, this remake of Silent Hill 2 doesn't quote-unquote faithfully remade in the original version due to the change of the first encounter, like I said before. In the original Silent Hill 2, the way James gets the radio is by going through a block-off tunnel. And as you see right here, it is completely different, and I wonder why they changed it. It would be nice to have some sort of, statement made for this change, just to get that idea to see what went through their minds when they decided on this change. Unfortunately, we did not get a response or any type of statements in regards to this situation, of the first encounter that is. Nevertheless, the big thing that people are talking about is Angela, and I gotta say, I'm right there with them. I mean, if you play the original version, you automatically see the difference and the jarring physical trait of Angela. Angela is a character in Silent Hill 2 that has gone the most drastic change in this remake, and I'm sure a lot of people know about this because there's a bunch of videos out there talking about this. Not gonna lie to you guys, I don't really have a problem to how Angela looks. I mean, it would have been great if they would have faithfully followed how Angela originally looked, but the thing that gets me is how low quality Angela looks compared to the other characters. Not sure if that makes sense, but Angela looks unfinished to me, especially compared to James, Maria, and Laura. Eddie wasn't shown in any of the trailers, which is something to look forward to. I wonder how Eddie's gonna look like in the remake. I for sure understand why people are angry about this, and that is because they are not really faithfully remaking Silent Hill 2 because of these changes. With the whole Angela discussion, I'm surprised that people aren't talking about the cutscene where Angela and James are talking. As a Silent Hill 2 fan, I believe the cutscene within, the graveyard didn't felt right compared to the original one. If we had to compare the two, I'll say the original one does it better, as it gives off a great atmosphere. Not only that, the voice acting in the original one was better. Not to say that the voice acting in the remake is bad, it's just that in this specific cutscene, it is noticeably weird, for lack of better words, because later on in the trailers, the voice acting was actually pretty good when James was reciting his infamous letter. Also, we get to hear Mary's voice, which was awesome. I really love her voice actor. I believe she does a great job in getting Mary's voice. I'm not saying that the voice acting in the remake is bad, it's just that in this specific scene, they don't really get the delivery right. The tone feels off. It doesn't go well with the introduction of Silent Hill 2.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry. I was just...
It's okay. I didn't mean to scare you. I'm kind of lost. I'm looking for Silent Hill.
I think you should stay away. This town, there's something wrong with it.
Excuse me,
I'm sorry. I
No,
was
it's
just...
okay. I didn't mean to scare you.
This town, there's something wrong with it.
Not only that, but I really do like the original because the direction of it was just insanely good. I really like how they implemented the fog into the cutscene, unlike the remake where the fog is just in the background. In the original, the fog is covering our characters' faces. Not only that, in the remake, they're sitting side to side, which doesn't really give off a good cinematic feel compared to the original one, which focused on Angela really close up and then into James. This is a huge problem for me because this cutscene is very important disappointment, as it is the start to the game and it does not deliver in a sense of introducing Silent Hill to the players. Another character that was changed was Maria. Not sure where people align in this change in Maria's outfit, but to me, I don't really mind. Sure, Maria could have shown a bit more skin because in original, well, that was the case. But not gonna lie to you guys, I don't really mind this change. I think that Maria looks great, and I'm not too bothered with this change, but I can see why people would. Nevertheless, it is another change that they did into the Silent Hill 2 remake. And that is all for the negatives. Now, many of you guys might think, well, what about the combat? And what I have to say about that is that I already do like it. I thought that the combat that they shown us was alright. In my own opinion, I believe that the remake follows how the combat was in the original Silent Hill 2, which is great. Not only that, but they added a few more mechanics, such as the limb mechanic. Overall, the combat doesn't seem overly terrible. Speaking of terrible, I believe the Silent Hill 2 remake is getting a lot of hate, and I do understand, trust me, but I believe the hate is beyond past hating, and I feel like people are just saying that Silent Hill 2 remake is terrible just because a whole bunch of people are saying that it's terrible, because there's a bunch of positives as well. Because I'll tell you this, yes, the Silent Hill 2 remake does have some negatives, but I wouldn't necessarily say that it's terrible. And maybe people are saying that because they're comparing Silent Hill to Resident Evil. But trust me, this game is not like Resident Evil. So yes, it is fair to compare the two, but I believe it shouldn't be the main driving force to people's judgment in Silent Hill 2 remake. But hey, that's just the internet, you know? Who wants to talk about positives in a video game? It's all about the drama, right? And that's what gets views. Talking about negatives, that's how you get clicks, buddy. As we move on to the positives, people ain't talking about the positives. They're just focusing on the negatives because, as I said earlier, who doesn't like drama in YouTube? Oh, Silent Hill 2? A lot of people are talking negatively about this game. I gotta cook out a video just stirring the pot even more. Focusing on the positives, like I said earlier, the environment and the atmosphere was great. Not to mention, bro, I cream when I listen to the OSTs. It is awesome to hear the OSTs once again, and I can't wait to experience that in a remake version of the game. If you haven't played Silent Hill 2 or any Silent Hill games, I'll tell you this, the soundtrack within the Silent Hill franchise is amazing. It is beyond great. Silent Hill 2 should be a great experience in regards to the OSTs, so look forward to that. Now, moving on, talking about destructible environment, it was shown that you were able to break the window behind a car in order to get some supplies. That is a change that is welcoming. I really do like that. Also like how James is shown to physically write down in his notes or in a map, because in Silent Hill, as you navigate through the locations and you pull out your map, it is shown that you scribble down notes or write down places that you are able to go or places that you're not able to go in. And I really like how the remake shows how you pull out the map. Also reading notes, letters as you encounter in the game. And one major thing is that they nailed the fog, which is an important aspect to the game. They did the fog perfectly. It is great to see the fog because it's just something that is different compared to other games, and it is just simply something that should be experienced. Like I said before, the environment, the graphics in Silent Hill 2 remake is pretty good. Man, the Brookhaven Hospital looks great as well, dude. Many people might not feel like the movement or the combat is fluid, and for me it is fine because that's what Silent Hill kind of is. It's a bit, for lack of better words, janky. So yeah, I'm glad that they didn't change that. That's an awesome, detail that they left. The hate of this game is immense, but I can see why, and that is the reason why I feel so conflicted and weird, because part of me is saying that the game is pretty good, but in some aspects it is a bit iffy. And with that is all. I could talk more about this, but I believe this video is going a bit too long, and not gonna lie, editing this thing is gonna be a pain. If you guys enjoyed the content, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. With that said, see you guys in the next one.